Welcome, everyone. If you're tuning into this explainer, you're obviously ready to ditch the manual chaos and finally transform your B2B sales process into an absolute automated powerhouse. Okay, let's dive straight into this. We're talking about blending the timeless, undeniable power of storytelling with some seriously cutting-edge system automation.
Look, every great story, and I mean every great story, starts with a crisis. And for a ton of sales teams right now, that crisis is living rent-free in your spreadsheets. We really have to ask ourselves, are manual tools literally suffocating your revenue? Just think about the sheer pain of lost leads. Those forgotten follow-ups just because a row was accidentally deleted, or deals that totally slipped through the cracks because you couldn't see the big picture. That right there, that's the exact crisis we're solving today.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how clear the battle lines are. On one side, we've got the ultimate villain, the spreadsheet. It brings those nightmare version conflicts where literally nobody knows what the master file is. Deals get buried, 300 rows down, and onboarding new reps, basically impossible. But on the flip side, our hero emerges, the automated CRM system. This hero brings visual pipelines to the rescue, auto-captures your emails and calls, and gives you crystal clear, real-time reporting. It's a total game changer.
All right, moving right along to our first core concept, selling with stories.
You know how every Hollywood blockbuster keeps you on the edge of your seat? They use the hero's journey framework. And guess what? Your sales presentations absolutely should too. It always kicks off with a crisis, a hook that grabs your prospect's attention right out of the gate. Then you bring in guides, that's you or your tools, helping them navigate. And of course the villains, which are the obstacles blocking their path. Finally, you hit the climax, the sweet realization where the goal is actually achieved. When you structure your pitch like this, your solution isn't just an option. It becomes the obvious climax they've been desperately searching for.
Sales and speaking coach Tom Jacobs really hit the nail on the head. He says the better that you're able to tell your personal story, the more sales that you're going to make. And it's so true. Modern, consultative selling, it absolutely requires you to be that trusted guide for your prospect. When you drop a highly relevant story, you build an instant, real connection. They suddenly realize, wow, they actually get my pain, and man, that makes them so much more receptive to what you're offering.
So, let's pivot a bit to our next big focus, the CRM automation hero.
Because here's the harsh reality. Relying on manual tools, basic calculators, static sheets, it basically builds an invisible ceiling right over your revenue. Seriously, you just cannot scale a highly personalized, story-driven approach if your reps are wasting half their day manually crunching numbers, logging data, and frantically searching for follow-up dates. That lack of shared visibility, it creates a massive bottleneck that literally chokes your entire team's growth.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact difference. Look at the immediate shift from deals just buried deep in rows to gorgeous, dynamic visual Kanban boards. From mind-numbing manual logging to auto-captured interactions. From those oops, I forgot follow-ups to automated triggers that make sure literally no lead is left behind. This is not just some cosmetic upgrade, guys. It fundamentally overhauls how your team operates, making everything exponentially faster and way more reliable than that old manual grind.
Okay, let's get into the tactical stuff. We're looking at 10 modern sales techniques.
Let's kick this off with a genuinely massive number, 98%. Yep, that is the average open rate for WhatsApp marketing messages. I mean, compare that to the standard 20% you might get with email on a good day. If you want your story and your pitch to actually get eyeballs, you have to be right where your buyers are already hanging out. This huge shift perfectly sets the stage for our first batch of techniques.
So let's rapid fire through these top 5 conversation-driven tools. First up, click to WhatsApp ads. These bad boys drive 3 times higher conversions than standard landing pages, just by sparking an instant dialogue. Second, call to action buttons. You embed them right in the chat and boom, users can call or buy with a single tap. Third, we've got quick replies for totally frictionless engagement. Fourth is catalog sharing. It brings the whole product discovery experience straight into the chat interface. And fifth, AI chat assistants. Imagine having a bot do your lead qualification 24/7. When you put all this together, you're completely stripping away friction and instantly grabbing the buyer's attention.
All right, shifting gears from automation tech over to closing psychology. Technique number 6 is the assumptive close. So the crucial point here is that this works like magic when those buying signals are already flashing green. Like if your prospect is asking about onboarding timelines, don't ask, hey, do you want to buy? No way. Assume the sale. Just pivot straight to logistics and say, so do you want to kick off onboarding next week or the week after?
Next is technique number 7, the question close. Look, the modern buyer absolutely hates being pitched to. They want to be guided. By asking the right, targeted questions, you basically hand them the pen to connect their own dots. And it's a proven fact. People commit way harder to a purchase when they feel like it was totally their own idea, rather than feeling like they got backed into a corner.
Coming in at number 8 is the legendary puppy dog close. Honestly, this is arguably the strongest closer in the entire SaaS world. You give the prospect a trial, a hands-on demo before you even mention a commitment. It's exactly like a pet store. Once they hold the puppy, play with the tool, and actually experience the value, they're not going to want to give it back. Just, make sure your software puppy is fully house-trained first.
For our final 2, we're diving into some advanced frameworks. Technique 9, the summary close, is an absolute must for complex deals. You basically recap all that amazing value you've built up over multiple touchpoints to bring everything into crystal clear focus for the final yes. And on the flip side, Technique 10 is the takeaway close. This is where you actually suggest the product might not be a fit right now. Sounds crazy, right? But it triggers massive loss aversion. A stalling prospect will suddenly start passionately arguing for why they do need it. But remember, a master closer always uses their CRM data to deploy the exact right technique for wherever the prospect is in their specific journey.
Let's move to the climax of this explainer, starting your new journey. Because right now, this is the real moment of truth for your business. Are you actually ready to defeat those manual villains, to finally leave the high-pressure, totally chaotic, error-prone era of spreadsheets in the dust? It is officially time to embrace a modern, story-driven, highly automated approach to sales that scales without breaking a sweat.
And your path to a wildly better sales process starts with literally a single tap. Message us on WhatsApp right now at 777-699-6857 to grab your own CRM automation superweapons. As we wrap this up, seriously ask yourself, if your competitors adopt these high-speed automated systems tomorrow, what is going to happen to your pipeline if you stay stuck in the spreadsheet dark ages? The next step in your journey is waiting. Send us a message and let's get building.